Nityanandam. This video is about sannyas, what is sannyas, and specifically what is Apat Sanyas, because many of us all over the world following this spiritual tradition, the Vedic tradition coming from India, and many of us have been taking Apat Sanyas. And what does that actually mean? Well, Apat means a crisis situation. And in that situation, you can take up sannyas as actually an ahimsa, a non-violent weapon to protect all of the wisdom from this tradition. Like the wisdom in form of like the Shastras, the ancient scriptures, but also the wisdom in form of my guru, Sri Nityananda Paramashivam. He is the one who is making all of this knowledge user-friendly and guides us in how to apply this in our daily life. Because that is quite a spiritual journey. To like unpeel all of the layers, all of the things that we are actually not, but how we mistake sometimes who we are. And to peel that all off, to truly realize ourselves, truly realize who we are, and have that intense experience actually of complete oneness with everything in the universe, which is like a deep spiritual truth, which is quite a journey for most of us to actually experience that more and more and get established in that space of oneness. And with that space of oneness, so much of empowerment comes. Empowerment simply because you are aware, you are conscious of all the information that is available. And for that reason, you can manifest what you want in your life. You can keep on doing what you want in your life and what you want to create, and see through the whole game, the whole divine Leela that life is. Life is but a dream, right? So to wake up, the Vedic tradition has the most profound knowledge. It is how I found even way more justified to call it as a science than as a religion, which of course Hinduism is always put as one of the huge world religions, which is also true. But how I experience it and how I grew up knowing what like religion and science and all of that means, it is way more a science, because it in detail, there is the theoretical framework, there is the all of the powerful cognitions that you can use to live in your life. And it has this beautiful, beautiful tradition also of sannyas. And that used to be the way for in India also, like people that wanted to study life, study who are we, how does the whole universe and everything in it work, they took up sannyas. And it used to be like such a royal tradition that even like every family gave at least one child for sannyas, and that one was the lucky one, right? And if possible, give all the children there. So it is absolutely a royal path. I mean, so many even from the West all the way go to India to live this lifestyle, to dedicate their whole life to this spiritual journey. From the context, not that you have to give up anything, it is nothing like a sacrifice, but once you feel like in the society, all of the things like having a family, pursuing a sort of career, all of these things, those are not the ones who truly lead us to our inner source. They can be leading into certain steps of realizations for sure, but the true the true experience of full self-realization, actually you have to make yourself free of the day-to-day rat race in order to fully imbibe that. And that is the path of sannyas. So I am extremely, extremely grateful to my master, who is like building ashrams just for people to come and live this lifestyle, because he is here solely to make as many as people as are interested enlightened, having that ultimate self-realization happen in them, of fully melting into the source even while in the body. So that path of sannyas is not only taken as how I took it initially, for the reason of dedicating my life to this spiritual journey, feeling like after studying social sciences, after studying public administration and organization science, for having for 10 years my own business, being a life coach, managing so many projects, actually to improve and find, create solutions for all kinds of social issues that we are having nowadays in society. And then still I found I was only doing like bits and pieces, and it was not satisfying me. I wanted to know, like, is there a better lifestyle? How do we actually completely transform all of these issues? Is it possible to live in such a way and create a society in such a way that literally everybody benefits truly and deeply from it? And that all these, like, the depression, climate change, violence, all of these things, that they have an answer, and that people grow up from the beginning knowing what to do if something gets out of line, if something is no longer integrated to your own core and your own source and your own purpose of life. And let alone growing up knowing what is your purpose in life, having the tools to find out for yourself what is your purpose in life and live it. And I found in the Vedic tradition this is possible. There are not only bits and pieces like how I found in society until then, and at the university and in all of those places, but there is a whole science available that literally gives for each and every part of our day-to-day life suggestions and tools and techniques and wisdom, insights, powerful cognitions, how to behave and how to do to actually manifest that self-realization, like ultimate empowerment, ultimate bliss inside, getting more and more established just inside of yourself instead of being dependent on things outside of you. Had to live that as a lifestyle, and not only on an individual level but also on a societal level. My guru is reviving that whole tradition, not only for the individuals that come to the ashram, taking sannyas and living that life, spiritual life, but also reviving Kailasa, as we call it, like that enlightened civilization. He has all the knowledge, he knows how to apply it, he also knows how to establish that society, and he's not only knowing it, he's doing it. And that is why I took sannyas, being part of this mission, taking also responsibility and having the fulfillment of doing that on a daily basis. And now Apat Sanyas has a very special reason, because it is taken sannyas for the sake of protecting this knowledge, protecting this tradition, protecting the guru-disciple relationship, which is a core element of this tradition. Protecting the Gurukul, the education system, the Vedic education system, which is also a core element. Defending and protecting our temples. So these three are really like the pillars of the whole Vedic tradition. So protecting this is another new reason actually to take up this sannyas, and we call that for this special reason, taking sannyas up as a shastra, as an ahimsa non-violent weapon. So all over the globe, people are standing up and doing this in order to protect this Vedic tradition, because it has such profound knowledge. And why do we even need to defend it? Well, because it has been a target for many, many attacks. There has been attacks on my guru's life. There has been attacks on the temples and ashrams that we have in India and in other parts in the world. And throughout the history, I mean, there is no enlightened master in this tradition that did not face any kind of attack, because these enlightened beings, these gurus, are literally such powerhouses. They are capable of establishing a completely new society. So you can imagine that the people who now are in charge, are in power places in society, don't like that, because they have all the reason to maintain the status quo and not have any transformation. And even so many people in society have a same kind of motivation for to not want that change, even if they're not in a powerful position, but just because that is how the mind works. The mind likes and loves the things that are familiar, even if those things are not good for us. So even when we know drug addiction in the end destroys us, or alcohol addiction in the end destroys us, we keep on doing that just because the mind is used to it, you know? And even not with that kind of addiction, but also on way subtler levels, like wanting a certain kind of attention, for example. Even if we know, like, love is not only about attention, still we keep on doing that. Or when we know, like, it's not very good for us to eat a lot of chocolate all the time, sometimes we keep on doing that. And that is because the mind just loves what it is familiar with. So there is a lot of forces in society that want to maintain the status quo. So that is something that this Vedic tradition and enlightened beings and people like me who take up sannyas, who want that transformation to happen in society, that we sooner or later are facing, that there are also powers that don't want that transformation and that will do everything to destroy the Vedic tradition, to get rid of that knowledge, to get rid of gurus, to get rid. And if they can't attack them, like physically, then they will just finish them off in a character assassination. That is definitely what happened to my guru, and what is still on a daily basis happening. Now also, like, so much of rumors and lies are spread in all kinds of topics that really make people at least confused. And like, the core people who, like, really are in for this transformation, they don't let themselves be fooled. But those who sometimes struggle with transformation, or like for some time having a low mood or whatever, they are sometimes vulnerable for confusion. And for those people, it is actually the most that we want to protect things, because also those beings, like, I really want those beings also to have the opportunity of make use of this knowledge for their own benefit, make use of this tradition for their own benefit, right? So I want this whole Vedic tradition to be alive, to be spread out, so that it is accessible for the whole planet, so that everybody who is seeking for that transformation can come to know about this and can make it into use for the benefit of your own life. And for that, we really have to stand up and make sure to protect this, because it is being attacked from several angles. So that is why I took Apat Sanyas, and so many people all around the world are taking that with me nowadays. So I hope this video explained you like the context and the background. If you have any questions or you want to have a chat with it, or you think it's something for you too, please reach out to me in the comment using the contact details below this video. Then I love to speak to you in a personal conversation. For now, thank you very much for watching. Please spread this video widely to everybody who you think feels also this is an interesting topic. And then I love to see you in one of my next videos. Nityanandam, be blissful.